Now, I know. Some of y'all might think that this is too high, but I'm gonna try to my best to convince y'all that that he deserves to be number three. Let's get into it.
Jackson, first down, touchdown! 8-yard touchdown run by Lamar Jackson on 4th and 2.
I spit that ROC, nothing but crack, bitch. Get my cleats, cause I'm running this rap shit. Y'all know me, this ain't nothing but practice. I run the streets and I'm running this rap shit. I got bars OD, I've been running this rap shit. I run this bitch like I'm Lamar Jackson, The take over, the break's over. Hit your brakes cause the race over. I'm the case closer, bust your whole fucking face open. That's a makeover, lean, make every soda, grape soda. Purple taste golden, make me have my skater skate over to your place soldier. You a place soldier, you a snake, you a fake cobra. You ain't safe, have the safe open. I need payola, on your knees, nigga, where the keys? I'm like Beethoven, it's like bringing a knife to a gunfight, a pen to a test. I bring the night to his sunlight and zen to a stress.
You know, for the last few months, there's been a lot of he say, she say, a lot of nail biting, a lot of head scratching going on. But for the next 5 years, it's a lot of flock going on.
C5 cut on funeral and she died. Your reach ain't long enough, your peeps ain't stronger.
Hey, what's going on? My name is Keith from Black Quarterback Series, and so at the real number three this time, we have Lamar Jackson. So this is probably going to be a fairly longer video than usual as I lay out my case as to why Lamar is the third greatest black quarterback ever and possibly will be number one if he can stay healthy. So let's start in high school. I don't have anything written down about high school, but let's start in high school. He had a viral clip in high school before any of us even knew who he was. Like, it wasn't until recently that I even knew who that clip was, because I remember seeing like, damn, that was cool. Ended up being Lamar Jackson. So he has been a superstar since as long as we can remember, right? So his mom demanded that he play the quarterback position at the next level, right? And so to the point that he did kick return one practice, and then mama was like, "Oh hell no, we're not doing that." So he ended up playing quarterback, and there's a great video that I watched recently. I'm gonna leave it either in the description or I'm gonna leave it at the end. There's a great video that details a lot of this in a little bit of greater detail of what I'm speaking about. This is kind of where I got some of this information from. So now, mind you, Lamar was a prototypical running quarterback. He wasn't that efficient as a passer. And even now, he's not that efficient as a passer, but he's still a great passer. Him and Bob Petrino worked days and days and sweaty summers and just so hard to get him, as I check my mic, so hard to get him to be a proficient passer. And he's just really starting to see those fruits of the labor. But on his way, one more fun fact before we get into the college numbers, Petrino did not let him run at practice, because Petrino was like, "Well, you can do that. We don't need for you to do that. Pass the ball." And he was in a pro style offense in college, and Petrino nailed it down. Hopefully, I'm saying his name right. He nailed Lamar down and just harping on being a passer, be a passer. And he wanted to be a passer anyway. But in high school, he didn't really have a playbook like that. It's high school. We all know how high school goes. All of us at least play high school football. I know that for sure. All my guys here should have played high school football, at least one game, right? So we know how it is. It's not really structured. It's all over the place, blah, 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 right? So when he didn't really start learning plays up until his freshman year. Now that's a little hyperbolic, but you get what I'm saying. He really didn't learn the ins and outs until he got to college. And so long nights, long summers, really getting it. And so when he finally put it all together, the guy was a Heisman winner. In his Heisman year, 30 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 56.2 completion percentage, 3,543 yards. Most by any Heisman winner He was the youngest Heisman Trophy winner to ever do it. Um, the guy had over 4,000 yards of total offense his Heisman year. And the guy he was 19. He was less than 19 years old. The guy was like, I don't even know what to say. He was super duper special. So you could see the specialness early. That's why I put him ahead of Michael Vick. He is Michael Vick 2.0. So after winning all these trophies and all his major awards that he won in college, it was time for him to go to the NFL. And so he left college with 9,043 passing yards, 57.0 completion percentage, 69 touchdowns, 27 interceptions. And on the ground, he was just as special. 4,132 yards, 50 touchdowns, 6.3 yards to carry. The man rushed for 50 touchdowns in college. like that's that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. So we get to the NFL. He was drafted first overall, and so let's back on our way to the combine. So on the way to the combine, Bill Polian said what he said. I'll put it on the screen. I ain't even gonna give that man that much clout. So Bill Polian said what he said, and the consensus around the NFL was that he's a runner. He's just switched positions. He's da 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 da, right? And so Lamar said essentially was like, no, I'm not doing the dash. I'm not doing anything that will lead you guys to believe that I am not a quarterback. And so him not having an agent as well, we'll revisit that a little later. So him not having an agent led to him slipping in the draft. So he was drafted in the first round, so he got that fifth year. So he ended up getting that fifth year. That fifth year will come in handy later. Got the fifth year. And was drafted by a great organization, the Baltimore Ravens. So he was drafted after Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, and Josh Rosen. Josh Rosen. Y'all remember Josh Rosen? I'll put the clip, the stupid clip here. So they had Joe Flacco. So nobody thought he was going to start or play right out the box, right? But Flacco was coming off that huge contract that he had after winning the Super Bowl, right? So we're going to jump around a little bit to some of his significant games and all that. So his first game, November 18th, 2018, his first start. So he had came in and spelled Joe Flacco at some point, but that wasn't his first start. His first start was November 18th, 2018. 13 for 19, 150 yards, rushed for 117, which was a record at the time, and they won 24-21. And that starts the Lamar era. But we win more. They start winning more. And I remember that year, it was talks about benching him in the playoffs because he wasn't passing very well. And so we're going to get to and that's where we're going to go now. He went 10-6 and made the playoffs in his tough division. He played, I'm going to be honest, he played terrible in that playoff game. His first playoff game, he played terrible. 14 for 29, 194 yards, 2 touchdowns, an interception, and a fumble. But they had a chance to win at the end. They just couldn't get the ball back in time. And Lamar, the numbers suggest that he played well, but I'm going to leave the clips, the highlights in the description, and you guys can see for yourself that he did not play well at all. And so we're going to go to the next year, the MVP year, where he essentially put it all together. 14-2, 113.3 passer rating, 3,127 passing yards, 36 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, led the league in touchdown passes, 1,206 rushing yards, 7 touchdowns. Those are NFL records. That's an NFL record. 6.8 yards per carry. So this year they were super dominant. Obviously, with Lamar setting records to winning MVP. So if I can find a video, I'll show it. At the time, I said Lamar should have played Week 17. They did not play week 17. None of the starters really played. They were in a rhythm, but Harbaugh thought the rest was more important. I thought they should have treated it like a preseason game, but they didn't. They ended up losing. Lamar played decent. He played decent. 31 for 59, 365 yards, touchdown, 2 interceptions, 20 carries for 143 yards. But from year one to this year, the world of difference. He started seeing the field better. He started putting it together more. Like, I'm gonna leave these highlights in the description so you guys can follow along with me. He was such an improved passer. He didn't even look like the same person almost. But they just got out coached. A little bit more about Lamar before I get into the other things. So he has a 70% career win percentage. This is as of what's today's day? As of August of 2023, right? And first things first has this thing that they put up all the time with Jimmy Garoppolo when they're going at it about his career win percentage, and Lamar Jackson is on that list. His career winning percentage is up there with some of the best guys to ever do it. So if I can find that, I'll definitely put it up right now. So right now, Lamar's a 2-time Pro Bowler, a 1-time MVP, and all the rest of his NFL accolades I'll put on the screen. And so let's move forward a little bit. So he finally gets that monkey off his back. Ironic enough, it's against the Titans. He didn't play the best. He did enough to win, though. 17 for 24, 179 yards, or interception, 16 carries, 136 yards. So I have no notes for the rest of this video. It's just going to be all on personal opinion. So take for what it's worth. So now we're at the point of Lamar's career where he's just, him and Greg Roman don't really see eye to eye like that, you know? So they had a chance last year to make the playoffs. Well, they made the playoffs, but on some crazy circumstances. They had a chance to probably have home field advantage in the playoffs, and Lamar gets hurt. And that didn't happen 2 seasons in a row. They win when Lamar's there. They don't know how to win when Lamar's not there. Or win big, I should say. They don't know how to win big and convincingly. And his defense has let him down, and the coaching has let him down. But there are no more excuses for Lamar going into this next season. He has Zay Flowers. He has Todd Monken. He has Odell. He has everything he wants now. He has his contract, which I didn't really speak on, but I'll talk about it right now. So Lamar signed one of the biggest contracts in NFL history, which eventually will be surpassed by our guy Joe Burrow. He will surpass him whenever Joe gets healthy and blah blah blah. So, you know, the league wasn't a big fan of him getting that contract, but he did it himself. He did it his own way, and that's kind of the theme of this. Lamar did it his own way, and he's number 3 on my list. If he wins, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, right? Personal opinion, if he wins a Super Bowl, he might pass Mahomes for me. Just based off how talented Lamar is. So if he wins the Super Bowl this season, he will be number 2 on this list for me. Personally. That's a personal thing, right? So, and I think you guys can kind of know who's the other 2 in this list that I haven't said yet. So, that's really all I got for you guys. So, Lamar's number 3. Just an absolute spectacular career. He could go down as the greatest to ever do it if he could stay healthy. And I just talked about a little bit of the things that Lamar has done. I didn't even get into the whole contract, the way he led his teams on comebacks, and the humanitarian he is, and how he gave Nitro and the Wonder Kid the interview when he didn't have to, how much he's for the kid. Like, I didn't even get into all that. I tried to keep it on the field as best as I can. But Lamar Jackson, number 3 on the greatest black quarterbacks to ever do it. I'll see you guys later.